Never fear, Cinder is here. And today I have for you another storytelling in Dragon Ball video. Today I want to look a little bit at character traits. Now, a good character has some kind of weakness or trait. It may get overemphasized, but it's something that is specifically there because it's going to be something most of the audience can relate to, or some of the audience can relate to. And between the different characters in the show, the series, most everyone will relate to somebody. And so you've got flaws in some of these Dragon Ball Z characters. Goku, his love of fighting causes him to do things that are not very bright. Such as once Vegeta is defeated, he stops Krillin from killing him and lets him go so they can fight again. And he tries to do the same thing with Frieza. He tries to convince Frieza to live on, and maybe they can fight again. That's part of the nature of Goku, the character of Goku. Vegeta is so prideful, he can't imagine. He hates having to face the fact that there's anyone stronger than him, whether it's Goku, or Cell, or Boo, or the God of Destruction, Beerus, and his attendant, Whis, or their Universe 6 counterparts, Vados and Champa. He does not like not being the strongest. And when he doesn't have a challenge from somebody, like Goku, he doesn't want a challenge. And so his pride lets him get convinced by Cell to let him go and find Android 18 and give him another chance when he becomes perfect, and then he'd get his good fight. Of course, by that point, Vegeta would be no match for Cell, but his pride let him be convinced by Cell to let him do so. And, different acts like that happen throughout the series by different characters. Piccolo lets Cell get away in his imperfect form because he was so focused on trying to learn information about Cell and where he came from and all that. He got focused more on that and not on actually defeating him, and then Cell got away and got stronger. To the point where even in his new fused state, he couldn't beat him. And this is very common, especially in the Cell Saga and the Buu Saga. You get a little bit of it with Frieza. When Frieza wants to transform, they just idly sit back and watch him transform because they're arguing with each other or something. And Frieza just gets to transform. But I want to talk specifically about one kind of character trait. And it's something most of us share in one way or another. We all have phobias. And yes, our beloved Dragon Ball Z characters are not immune to having phobias. Now, obviously, hopefully this doesn't surprise you. I expect you'll know right away 2 of these phobias I'm going to mention. I would expect you to know at least 2 of these phobias I'm going to mention. I know of 3, and so I'm going to reveal 3 of these phobias to you. You'll know, if you've watched Dragon Ball, you'll know of Yamcha's phobia. And it's very common knowledge, I'm pretty sure, of Goku's phobia. This is the one that appears the most frequently. We see it multiple times that Goku has a fear of needles. And then the one you may not know of is Vegeta actually has a phobia as well. And if you weren't really paying attention, you might have missed his. So here's the 3 phobias that they have.
Gee whiz, you guys! What's all that screaming about?
She's gorgeous.
Yamcha's fear, the fear of beautiful
Needle!
Ecmophobia, or melonophobia.
Get me out of here! Get me out of here! Just imagine how big their father must be.
Disgusting! No, I do not want to imagine even one more slimy little
The fear of worms.
Now that's what I call a worm!
Kakarot, I think I'm going to puke.
Did you know about that one? Vegeta has a fear of worms. And he gets stuck facing those worms inside of Boo. And it makes him sick. Now, each of these three characters has a different phobia. And each of these three characters reacts differently to their phobia. Yamcha's phobia basically immobilizes him and makes him unable to breathe. He starts hyperventilating. He heats up. He can't function. Goku's fear of needles initiates a fight or flight reaction in Goku, primarily to fly, to get away, to hide, to run away. As he tried to do in that clip. As he hides in GT when they're at the space hospital, he's hiding because he doesn't want to get stuck with a needle. And then Vegeta. Vegeta gets sick at the sight of worms. He has to puke. His stomach gets upset. Maybe you relate to one of those three, if not necessarily the phobia, but the reaction. You may not have specifically their phobias, but most of you, I'm sure, have some phobia. And if you're willing to share those, feel free to put them in the comment section. I'll be putting one there for you. So feel free to share your phobias in the comment section if you're brave enough to do so. I mean, it is a common thing. It's something that most of us deal with in one way or another. And we have to deal with them, just like these characters have to deal with theirs. And you know, Yamcha, supposedly he got over his fear. Vegeta, we see Vegeta there, he's ready to puke, but then very shortly afterwards he's up and he's dealing with these worms. So he's able to at least face his fear. Are you capable of facing your fears? Do you think it's possible you can overcome your fears? It is possible. There is hope for you to do so as well. Hopefully these characters will be an inspiration for you in that regard. This is Super Saiyan 7 Cinders. I hope you will like my video. You will share it. If you have not done so, please subscribe to my channel. And I'll be back with more content in the near future. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super are property of Funimation, Viz TV, Fuji TV, Toei Animation, and Dragon Ball Z Abridged is the property of Team 4-Star. Of course, all of it, the initial creator for them was Akira Toriyama. Please check out their content.